Hi everyone, Mark Chellis, Director of Tennis for Friends of Miami Tennis here at Tamiami. Good to see you again. Just continuing with a couple more tips here. This one, we're going to talk about your volleys. I'm going to spend a little time on the forehand volley. The same rules basically apply for the backhand volley too. But like most of my tips, I'm trying to give you just a couple of main specifics to think about, two in particular, okay? Obviously with the volley, I know you've heard from 1,000 pros, don't take your racket back, or don't take a swing at the volley, or don't go back on the volley, okay? I want to simplify and talk more, not so much about your racket, but about your hand movement, okay? What I really promote and teach here, and I'm going to square myself off to the camera here in a second, is I want your hand, when you're in the ready position, I want you to think about what move your hand makes. If your hand goes forward to the side, and at the same time you do that, your weight loads on your right foot for a right-hander, forward at an angle, and you're loaded, and then you move directly in and go forward again directly through the back of the ball, that will take away any of the takebacks. Because it seems to me when I coach, no matter how much you talk about not taking the racket back, players get it, they nod, they look, and then boom, their racket goes back on the very next ball. So what I want you to do is think about your hand. If your hand goes diagonally and slightly forward, and then you move and you go directly forward through the ball, it's called the forward move. So forward angle, forward direct. Forward angle, forward direct. And make sure you're loading your weight on that outside leg. Watch my hand, now watch with the racket. Forward at an angle, it's in front of my shoulder, never allowing it to get back here. If my hand goes back, boom, I'm done, that's too far back. If my hand stays forward, it's staying in front of me the whole time, and then I load in and go direct for the contact, okay? I'll demonstrate a couple in a minute. Next thing, you've got to make a decision real quick at the net, and the decision should be mostly between these two things. Am I going to be trying to create pace with this volley, or am I using the pace that's coming, and am I deflecting the pace that's coming? Almost 80% or more of the time, I want you to be thinking that it's a deflection. If you're going forward and deflecting, you're using the pace on the ball and you're redirecting it to where the player's not on the court. Too many times we try to create our pace on the volley, and it's just not necessary. Yes, sometimes the ball is traveling slow, we can close in and we create a little bit of pace by going forward through it, and then occasionally we go with the swing volley. But roughly 75-80% of the time, you want to use the pace that's already on it, and practice that when you're drilling. Stand at the net, use the pace, create some pace, okay? But always working with the forward, okay? Let me hit a couple. Keep an eye on my racket. I want you to notice that it will go forward, and I will continue my weight going forward. What's important is that I do get my weight loaded on this outside right foot. If I stay forward and I don't load, I'm going to be a little reachy on that volley. I want to load in a powerful position and drive myself into the volley. Looks a little bit like this. Never does that racket go back. 3 more. Forward, creating a deflection. Forward. 1 more. All right, give it a try. And remember, when you're making contact with the ball, opposed to some of the ground strokes and swing volleys I talk about, we do want a little more tension with this one. We want to be a little firmer so that the racket won't give at the impact of the ball. Look forward to seeing you on the courts.